Good morning or afternoon, everyone, and welcome to the final race of Week 5 in the Link to the Past Randomizer League Season 5. We are finishing up Sword this week with a matchup between Divine Beastie Boys and 2Pearl2Furious. I'm JP, I'm joined by Adirondack Rick. How you doing, Rick?
Doing pretty well, so go ahead and turn off the television. Never mind those two networks that are showing things on the gridiron. We are here with some Link to the Past randomizer action. We're about ready to begin this race here. The Divine Beastie Boys have clinched their spot into the playoffs at 27 points. 2Pearl2Furious trying to starve off relegation. We are underway. Bombs to be found at Link's house. 20 rupees at the back of the sanctuary. Go ahead and talk about these runners, talk about these teams in just a few, but we got ourselves a map check already.
I saw red crystals at Eastern Hera, red pendant at Desert.
It's all reds in the light world.
And there's some red cards on the screen, and yeah. Some red... Are those bushes, or is that like concrete? I don't know.
They feel like concrete. They're supposed to maybe be something like flowers or whatever the case might be. I don't know. I don't know what they were thinking back in 1991. Anyways, 2Pearl2Furious seeing the bomb tree pull, and so too did Divine Beastie Boys. Definitely getting a couple of different routes here. Let's see if Agahnim's going to be required for any items in particular. And the answer turns out to be no, not for that piece of heart.
Yep, no worry about that. Though, I only really need 2 items to get Aga access, so... I feel like it's been a little more common this week as a result. Not as common as week 3, but...
Oh gosh, give them a sword, give them boots, give them access to Aga early on, and holy cow, all those races that turned out to be the case. Let's give them some literature in the Force, however.
Okay, interesting. Maybe an early desert play. We'll see what else comes up.
I think that's where the Moon Pearl will be. Desert Ledge. Hey, we found a sword.
Can use... I guess Pichu could learn the move Payday.
So, obviously, this being swordless, the swords have been turned into green 20s. So, there was the first one right there for Scary Olive, and now we'll see that from Gamachu as well. Gamachu coming in from the Divine Beastie Boys, currently 9-0, first place in the Misery Mire division. They are one of 2 teams that have already clinched their spots in the playoffs in that division. Gamachu 4-0, just like Fear Agent and Ramond is in that division as well. This is the first appearance for Gamachu since week 3.
Getting a nice long rest. See if he's any rusty at all. Probably not, though. He's probably been playing plenty outside of the league.
We got one of our favorite items to find in Sword. This is the Cane of Burna over here at the Blind's hideout here, or the Blind's hut. As we also get the mushroom, that could yield something in just a few minutes as well. Scary Olive, this is their 3rd race of the season. Played both races of the co-op entrance last week with Trinex, lost to Chloe Prower and Trey Spire. In both of those races, team is 1-8, currently sitting 8th in the Misery Mire division.
Yeah, they need to make a move sooner rather than later. At 1-8 right now, they are a half game technically behind a 7th place right now. They've also lost both games to 7th. They do... Oh, there we go, a Quake Medallion. Like 600 rupees.
Hey, if you ever were concerned about rupees, well, there you go. But as you mentioned, week 4, when they lost to Oops All Foxes, they lost that tiebreaker they would have had over 7th place if they were both at the same space here, record-wise. And as such, they really need to keep pace with Oops All Foxes heading into the final 2 weeks of the regular season. As we find the lamp inside the chicken coop, losses against 7th place are going to come back to haunt you sooner than later in this league.
Yeah, absolutely. And we're seeing teams that... Oh, we got a flute now as well. But, yeah, we're seeing teams that need to make their... get their position in order, because You don't want to get relegated. But yeah, look at some of these divisions. There's not much of a difference between being a playoff contender and being at risk for relegation right now.
This really is the only division that's shaped up to have both a clear team that's going to be making their way to the playoffs, which is the Divine Beastie Boys, and the definite team to likely be relegated here with 2Pearl2Furious, but a win can change that here for Scary Olive. Give their team some hope as they get into week number 6 with the Pseudo Boost Cross Keys. We'll talk about that mode coming up a little bit later on, but right now we're focused on this mode, and my goodness, some of these standings that are going on in this league have just absolutely been crazy, as you pointed out, JP.
Yeah, looking through just every other division, like every team in every other division has at least 3 wins. And we're seeing like 5 wins right now for a lot of these divisions being the minimum for playoff spots. So there's still a lot that can change in these standings.
Yes, absolutely. And so, Scary Olive trading in the mushroom right away. Gamachu blowing the flute before he even sees what's on the race game. Trying to save a few frames. Find out that it's only 20 rupees on the mushroom check, so that Spear 1 mushroom not really all that relevant. However, Gamachu saving the old man right away.
Usually not a big deal. You can get in and out quick. Usually don't lose much time from doing this, if any. Meanwhile, we've got a piece of heart in the dam.
So we are getting a taste of Gamachu's MSU package, which turns out to be the Bomberman MSU. If we do switch over to Scary Olive, we're going to be listening to the Golden Sun MSU, and we'll go ahead and flip around between the two a little bit here and there as we make our way through this seed. Gamachu taking a death right after he saved the old man, so he doesn't have to go back to midway through that cave.
Little unfortunate, but not the worst time to take a death at all.
Scary Olive going to show us what we have inside of this. Oh, no.
Yeah, that's 2 quick hearts gone. I gotta be really careful.
Yeah, the unfortunate thing is that did not have enough magic to take care of that middle Moldorm, and that's exactly what I think Scary Olive was hoping for. Nice final hit right there, just barely hitting the hitbox. Just barely hitting the hitbox. There's our Moon Pearl, not on the desert ledge like I said it was going to be. Gets a refund for the heart, also gets a red potion, so we can check Sick Kid if we go back to the village.
Looks like we got hearts off the bush crab. That's not going to be very helpful.
At this moment when you... Whoa, that was a bad hit to take there for Gamachu. We'll see how he handles this upcoming cave. Good hit on the first mini Moldorm. Good hit on the second. Quick check to Sick Kid. Oh, nice double for the last hits there. 50 rupees on Sick Kid, so nothing much there.
So we got 1 item towards Dark World so far. Still need 2 more to get there. It looks like Scary Owl is going to save the old man now. Inventory is pretty much equal. They've basically made the same checks except, well, looks like Gamachu's going to check the mushroom right now. They're each doing the 1 check the other hasn't.
Yeah, so right now I can go ahead and tell you that these 2 players have met each other once in the ladder. Can you guess what mode they played?
I'm going to say cross keys.
It was actually open back July 2020. Gamachu ended up winning that race over Scary Olive.
And, oh, yeah, let's say Scary Olive might be about to take a boulder too, but Dodger's inside pretty quickly.
Yeah, Scary Olive almost took another cabbage just like Gamachu did, and you know, when you only have 3 or 4 hearts, it's definitely a scary ride here when you deal with these cabbages, especially since they do 1 heart of damage. As we now go and see what we have on that desert ledge, it's only 5 rupees.
You still need 2 more items potentially to beat Desert. You need a glove, and then you're going to need potentially the boots.
Yeah, we already have that fire source as Scary Olive sees what we have at Spectacle Rock. Turns out not to be anything that we're going to go inside and grab. And Gamachu gets Agahnim to give us a piece of heart. So it's either the eastern area or we have to go to Hyrule Castle. And that's where Scary Olive is heading right now.
I think he's gonna... Yeah, he's gonna set up a tree pole. Wrong one to throw it into, unfortunately.
Yeah, you want to throw it at the blue guards because the red ones are a lot stronger, but thankfully the tier 3 tree poles turn out to be, or is that the tier 2? I always forget which one they define it as.
Probably tier 2 since he took damage.
Right, I just didn't know which one was defined as tier 2 or tier 3 by the log standards. However, that is definitely a good thing here. I forgot that we still had to check Ice Rod Cave. But definitely good to know that you do have free bombs available to you by way of the tree poles here.
So the easiest way I think to kind of remember the tiers is that in vanilla game, tier 1 is green rupees, tier 2 is blue, and tier 3 is red. So it's like, the better you do, the better reward you get from the tree pool.
That's actually a pretty good, solid way of remembering it. As we now head into Hyrule Castle for Scary Olive, and looks like we're heading towards... No, we're going to head to... I think Gamachu did forget about those tree poles. Their unfortunate purchase of the bombs, but this game has already given us a whole lot of rupees. It's not really going to hurt him, except for just the walk to the store.
So let's see if we get a small key in this chest. We do not.
We instead get vanilla.
So, the only reason I was bringing that up is if you don't get a key in that chest, you can take the key from the guard and go to the back first. It's a little extra time, but it guarantees you'll be able to do the back right now. Out of logic, but still you could do it, potentially.
How is it out of logic?
If there's no key in Dark Cross.
True, okay, yeah, I forgot about that aspect. Gamachu doing the bomb setup here to that first guard, and we're still seeing some burner strats here from Scary Olive to what a great reward that was.
Yeah, I always just think of that as like somebody robbed the chest and they dropped something out of their pocket as they were reclosing it.
So the characters that our runners are playing here, Gamachu is playing as the suited Pikachu, and we have the Zero suit Samus over on Scary Olive's side.
I think that's actually Pichu. I could be wrong, though.
Gamma would definitely say that it was a Pichu according to GFE, so you are correct. All right. Scary Olive going to be getting poked by the guard 3 times to go back to start.
And one of the guards in the game that's actually coded that will always do half a heart of damage to you, no matter what mail you've got.
All right, so Dark Cross, do you have a key for us to get us to the back 3? Or are we stopped right here and have to wait until we get to a glove? What do you think, JP?
Considering we're running low on spots, I'm gonna... Well, actually, we still got 6 in the eastern area. I don't think this is gonna be a key.
Well, we're gonna find out if you're correct here in just a moment. And survey says you are correct. It is 300 rupees, because why not give our runners more money at this stage?
I give him all the money, and then Zora's got nothing. which happens regardless if you get money or not. Oh yeah, we got the Friend of Desert too.
Yes, we do. Which can yield us 0 to 2 items at this stage, depending on how the layout of everything is going to be. So, Gamachu now, I think, Gonna start at the mountain cave. Now, don't forget, Gamachu did not get to see what was inside Spectacle Rock. May decide to go up there and check that right now, and it looks like exactly where he's gonna be heading.
So we got Scary Olive in Desert, which has the Pendant of Wisdom. We have to remember that in this version, the red pendant is Wisdom.
Yes, it's really interesting when these runners fill out their player cards when they have to determine who's going to be what pendants. All right, here's the item on the torch. It's just the compass, so we're going to get the small key here in the big chest.
So guarantee we're going to get at minimum one item out of here. Yeah, we do not need boots to clear this desert.
We do, of course, need the glove in order to beat this dungeon, which obviously, if you're a new runner, you go ahead and grab everything, you get ready to head over to the Lambos, you head to the rock, and then you're like, right, I still need something.
An easy one to forget. Desert's actually a very high requirement dungeon for it being so early. Like I said, so early in vanilla.
Scary Olive getting a heart container here. All right. Is there anything here, or do we need to go to Eastern? There's the other single arrow.
Well, that is both items out of deserts. So don't need to come back here unless we need to pull something later. But these runners could find out if they really wanted to.
Just think if Lead Swordless had progressive bows.
I don't know if they'd be good or bad.
Well, we would have had at least one of them at this point, given the fact that we just saw 2 single arrows in this game.
Yep, that is true. Yeah, we have Eastern at this point. 3 items at Saharsla, and then 2 to 3 items in Eastern itself.
That's correct, and GFE pointing out in chat that Scary has not done Ice Rod Cave, so that still does leave out an option, but that's 1 over 5 at this point. Do you really flute to 8 for a single item? Does Scary Olive do that? The answer is yes.
It's weird how late Saha gets put off by many runners lately. Even though that's 3 quick items.
It's because they want the bow. They want to be able to finish Eastern when they head on over to this direction. It just feels like a rough trip to make. But when the bow's over here or your progression's over here, you can definitely feel behind as a result.
What's in the closet today?
All right, 3/4 of a heart.
Okay.
Is this the old tournament standard from 2021 or whatever year it was when we had all those pieces of heart, the 48 of them?
Potentially. I'll have to keep that in mind if either of them turn in the green pen at some point, if Saha has a piece of heart or not. Scary Olive's going out of logic to check the Zora area. We do know there's something in Eastern. There has to be something in Eastern at this point.
What if it's the flippers?
Well, then maybe you can single dip Eastern.
Boomerang, which is almost vanilla. It's the other part of vanilla, but not quite vanilla. All right, what do we got on the Zora ledge?
Well, we see just a piece of heart in the first chest of Eastern, 50 rupees on the ledge. What's the next item? We're going to see hook shot, we're going to see a mirror, going to see a glove.
What if that glove is to get something off Zora?
We can actually also see hammer. And
what
then
does hammer do to us, though?
Gives us Aga access.
Oh, you're right. And it's going to be the third item of this dungeon.
Gary Olive hadn't checked Link's house yet?
I was just thinking that. JP. All right, give it to us early here. Don't make Gamachu have to go all the way to the big key chest in order to find out what this third item is.
I mean, it's not so bad if the big key's in the big key chest, but yeah.
No, it's there.
Well, the third item could be in the big chest now.
It can, but I know how this game works, JP. You do too. We're going to get the compass. Yep, there it is. There's the compass. I had a 2/3 chance of being, or 1/3 chance of being right. Misery Myers are green pendant, by the way.
You won. I want to say you won that coin flip, but that wasn't really a coin flip. And you don't really have 3-sided dice. So,
A 3-headed dice would be called a triangle. Which, by the way, we're going to be getting later this game.
You won the game of rock, paper, scissors. There we go.
I'm so glad that I beat you with a rock.
Alright, what is our item? Hammer.
It's hammer time! So, ladies and gentlemen, there's going to be a chance for between 0 and 15 blue balls, apparently, as Gamachu's sitting there looking, thinking, wondering, wishing, hating, questioning. Oh my. Gamma's just dead inside.
I hope he knows he can do Aga. Like, this is an oddly long pause.
Somebody may need to take a pulse of Gamachu. As Gary Olive makes their way through Eastern Palace, the other members of 2Pearl2Furious, Asi 28. And Trinex was the one who faced Ramon in the other match in this between Divine Beastie Boys and 2Pearl2Furious. So Ramon being one of the members of Divine Beastie Boys, the other being Fear Agent. So I think we need to reboot.
Yeah, this is weird. I did check the race room just out of curiosity, and nope, nothing in there, so yeah.
I mean, there could be other reasons to be taking a break at this point in time. Maybe you're getting a phone call. Who gets phone calls still? I do. Never mind.
I do, and they're from telemarketers, so I never pick up my phone.
So they're calling about your extended warranty.
Yeah. Apparently my sword needs to be... my sword's extended warranty needs to be extended.
Well, that's what happens. You buy from gigantic Gorons in Ocarina of Time.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, you don't want to go from the... You don't want to go from the medium giant Goron. You got to go for the giant Goron. Or I guess the big Goron.
Whatever they're called. So Scary Alvis about to catch Gamachu here. They're gonna do a high five right here at this chest.
Yeah, I'm hoping everything's okay with Gamachu.
I was thinking right there with that. Oh my gosh!
Did we break both runners?
Okay, everybody!
I really have no idea what to say right now.
Alright, after these messages, we'll be right back. Gamachu is now complete, saving and quitting.
Gamachu has rebooted.
Is that bacon?
Yeah, that's bacon. Or was that ham? That might be ham, actually.
Well, the ham's right there in the front. The bacon's I'm talking about in the back on the napkin.
Oh yeah, I see the bacon on the napkin. Was that actually Scary Olive had like a file name like bacon sandwich or something? Like I don't remember.
Hey, there's the lettuce. Don't worry, JP and I have absolutely no idea what is going on here, friends. We are just rolling with the punches at this point in time. And while we are watching a sandwich getting put with mayonnaise on it, bacon, ham, toasted bread, pick a number between 0 15, put that in chat, tell us how many blue balls you feel that we're going to wind up getting here from this upcoming fight as Gamachu now climbs the tower. I didn't think League Swordless was going to break me quite the way that a few of these other modes have during the course of League Season 5, but here we are, friends. This is the halftime report, JP, so let's go ahead and talk about the first half of this seed.
Well, it started out really nice in Kakariko. You got quite a bit of items, but then kind of came to a hammer in Eastern Palace, which has broken the sanity of both runners. And yeah, I guess they're just getting halftime sandwiches, maybe? Maybe that's what Gamachu was up to as well.
Shoutouts to the Montreal Canadiens.
By the way, I got a prediction up. Get your guess in. You have to actually guess a specific one to get some points here. And Scary Olive is rebooted as well.
Alright, so there we go. I guess we're all back in action at this point in time. We're gonna have to ask how that sandwich was.
I'm actually honestly curious what the timing was for each of those runners, but yeah, I feel like there's something going on in the background we're not aware of, but we'll have to ask them about it afterwards.
Anyways, as we make our way up, I'm just going to sit here and say that this is going to be because of what they just put us through, 11 blue balls. 11!
By the way, I put Ganon blue balls rather than Aga blue balls. Actually, technically Ganon's an Aga, so it counts.
Spoilers!
It's a 30-year-old game. If you haven't seen it by now, you're...
What are you saying, I'm old?
No, I'm just saying you've missed your chance to claim spoilers at this point.
Okay, fine. I can still claim spoilers, but I won't be happy about it. Anyways, here we go. Gamachu, Bug. No bug net, so this is actually going to be a really crazy Aga fight. In fact, we could see more than 15 if we don't get the right hits onto these energy balls.
Count extras if they accidentally miss a hit.
One! Still one.
Still one.
I mean, at least it's still one. This is at least being somewhat generous with that. And that's right, Gamachu is playing with the Bomberman 64 MSU pack for this seed. Still one, so we now have a maximum of 3 if we hit our remaining shots. Never mind.
Just one.
Just the one. So if you ended up picking one for your guess, let's go ahead and give you credit in chat. And we'll ask our tracker to switch things over here for Scary Olive. Uh-oh. That's not a good fall to be taking when you're right next to a guard. Nice Palace being the other of our pendants, by the way. Did Gamachu not check the pyramid ledge?
I wasn't paying attention, honestly.
Alright, so Scary Olive wound up taking use of the potion here. All right, JP, what do we have in Hype Cave?
Disappointment.
Disappointment? Well, that's not disappointment. That's totally not disappointment.
Oh well. Can't get them all right.
That's a pretty solid Hype Cave right there. That bombos may be needed if we do need to dive into Ice Palace for whatever reason. All right. Scary Olive about to go up into Aga, so I'm just going to go ahead and ask our tracker if we could switch on over to Scary Olive's music for the upcoming Aga fight.
We have people in chat 2 times the sandwiches.
So let's go to JP for the sandwich report.
Well, this is coming from our side of the line reporter GFE, who says that Gamma Sandwich took 3 minutes and 35 seconds and Scary's took 3 minutes and 12 seconds.
We'll have to ask how the sandwiches were. All right, Scary Olive going up against Daga 1. Gamma Chew checking to see what we have in said K45. There's another sword. I'll say that Scary Olives at least looked delicious.
But
At least from video.
But Scary Olive didn't put any olives on his sandwich.
Because olives are scary, yo.
Oh, I mean, what kind of olives? Are we talking green olives or black olives or Kalamata olives? Or there's a lot of different olives here.
Oh! Hey! There's our bow!
Alright, that is... You can go back to Eastern, but there's no more items there. You can go to, I guess, Pod, actually. Pod Eastern combo seems pretty nice right now.
Yep. And now we're going to get that pyramid ledge check here from Gamma Chew, or not.
Maybe...
We're in the middle of something here, by the way, JP. First the sandwich thing, and now neither of these runners are checking pyramid ledge.
Scary Olive did. It was 20 rupees.
Oh, okay. All right, Scary Olive heading over here to Hype Cave. Gamma Chew's about to spend. By the way, shoutouts to Scary Olive's rupee count right now.
I'd say that's a jackpot, but it doesn't feel like you hit the jackpot right now.
Did you see that sandwich? That looked like a jackpot right there.
I feel like Scary Olive was taking bites of the sandwich between steps there.
I think so, yes. All right, there's the Bombos and the mirror pickup here for Scary Olive as Gamma Chew summons Kiki and makes his way into the Palace of Darkness. 5 items inside. Now we have the way to get everything that's in here.
Oh, we saw a map, a bunch of blue except for what was in Maya, which is green.
Yep, Ice Palace is the other pendant dungeon, per what we have found out from our tracker, Crom, who's clicking the buttons behind the scenes for us. Thank you very much for doing that.
Let's not get into discussions about whether a hot dog's a sandwich.
I was at a place in New England. On their menu board, under sandwiches, it said hot dog. There's your answer. Blame that restaurant. Goodbye. We're done with the debate.
Okay. At least they put mushrooms on the sandwich, but I guess they did turn the mushroom in.
Yeah, that's very unfortunate, and it's also unfortunate they haven't found the magic powder so they can salt and pepper that sandwich.
There's the compass, so that's one of the non-key items that can be in the front. And I think I broke chat with all this food discussion now.
No, chat was already broken way before this, JP.
Oh.
Us doing what we have has no bearing on how chat's reacting.
That is a good point. Yeah, chat just does their own thing.
By the way, I'm wondering where Scary Olive is off to at this point, considering the fact that they have not saved and quit, which would have saved them a little bit of time coming out of this area here. It looks like they're getting ready to go towards the Palace of Darkness, but that definitely is a time sink.
Say maybe... Actually, something that neither runner did or they could have done is check Bombo's tablet.
True, and that's something that we can do now thanks to this, but that's not what Scary Olive is off to.
Yeah, just taking a long walk.
Also, Gamachu got the big key over on the right-hand side behind the Mimic, so it's heading straight to the Helmistar King. As Gamachu makes his way over here, sees what we have with the Terrapins. Pretty solid effort here. It's got almost all of them flipped over. Fortunately, this one in the bottom right wound up giving him a little bit of business. We'll see if Scary Olive decides to do the same.
Okay, quick map check.
I noticed even the race earlier today was going with the semi-bomb slash hammer strats here on this. Oh, I didn't even notice Gamachu get down to that one heart. It's a good thing he was able to kill him with that one hit. All right, nice Sanctuary Heart to save you some frames at the end.
Yeah, that was actually perfectly timed.
Our first crystal on the board goes to Gamachu as Scary Olive is searching over here. About to get the big key in just a moment. So I'm guessing Gamachu and Scary Olive did similar to what we saw during SpeedGaming Live, although that was due to tech reasons when runners took a timeout. And here we had a sandwich break.
Imagine that we could do that in races, just like at the timer reaches like the 30-minute mark, and we stop it for like a 5-minute drink and bathroom break.
I still remember back in the first tournament when we had a case of somebody spending their tile room doing, well, you know what. Hey, glove!
Okay, glove. So that gives us more normal Dark World access. Anything else going to come up in here?
Well, it's going to be the last 3 checks that we now get over here on the left side. That is it for this dungeon.
More rupees.
Yep, something that we don't need any more of at this point in time, but the seed's still going to give us more.
More rupees.
Case in point.
And piece of heart.
All right, so the glove is what we needed to pull out of this dungeon, and this glove now allows us to beat Desert if we choose to do so. However, we've already seen both of the items in there, and Desert is not one of the is not the green pendant. But we also now have the ability to finish off this Eastern, which is one of our 5-6 crystals, along with the Tower of Hera, which, by the way, we can also beat. So that Pyramid Fairy is in logic.
Yeah, Pyramid Fairy are ready in logic, so that's interesting. I have to think about that.
Makes you wonder what we are going to find on Pyramid Fairy if it turns out to be anything important coming up here a little bit later on. Of course, if you're going to pull the trigger on that, you're going to have to go up to the mountain, do the stuff without the Titan's mitts, and then do Tower of Hera. But I mean, this seed, we're still several items away from go mode at this point in time. We know we are going to need both rods. We're going to need the flippers. We're going to need the Cane of Samaria at some point in time, and of course the hook shot.
Yeah, still a lot that could throw wrenches into this seed.
Divine Beastie Boys hoping to stay perfect here as we go through week number 5 of the league This 9-0. And I think, what is it? They're the only team to be undefeated at this point in time in the whole league?
I believe so. I think the other team that had been undefeated, the perfect unadulterated gaming squad. I believe they took a couple losses, so...
Yeah, Pugs ended up taking a loss to Scottish Braves team, the last locationers in week 4, and then lost Dante versus Plasma Kappa this week in the second of the Swordless races.
Yeah, looking at this division right now, as it stands today, Divine Beastie Boys and Bottled on Empty have clinched their playoff spots. To Infinity and Pagog sits in 3rd, Don't Forget to Strike Us in 4th, Leftovers Forever in 5th. And you've got Randall Toddlers in 6th, who still are in the race, though they might need some good results to get there. And then Oops All Foxes and 2Pearl2Furious bringing up the rear in this division.
And I'm being correct, it is the last locationeers, not the last locationers. Two E's on the last locationers. Ears. You know what I'm talking about. Let's move on. Post-Aga, Death Mountain sucks.
We got a Ether tablet check most likely coming up. I don't know if Gamachu wanted that.
I wonder if Gamachu really wanted a sandwich here in this seed too. But he got that too.
Yeah, I am wondering, was that like just an agreement between the two of them that if...
It had to be. It had to be based on the fact that both of them were gone for almost equal time.
Yeah, it's basically, if it's an Aga seed, you're going to make a sandwich first.
And I can understand the play that we're seeing here from Gamachu, because obviously if we find the hook shot, that's going to make the Tower of Hera a lot easier by the sense that we can, of course, do the Hera pot.
You know, Scary Olive done in pod going into Eastern. And all that walking for a blue rupee. Like I said, I feel like just the majority of these chests in the game have already been looted, and it's just people dropping stuff from their pockets in each.
That old man's not doing his job of protecting these chests. Bottle number 2 and sword number 3 with that 20 rupee find.
Wait, did Scary Olive also make a Bloody Mary?
I know Scary Olive was downing it. Oh, there's our hook shot. So this does pay off for Gamachu. So I know Scary Olive was downing his sandwich with a beverage from a company that does not sponsor activities here on Speed Gaming. Some sort of ribbon.
Oh, I think I know which one you're talking about.
Yes, I'm sure you do. I mean, if those games that are on those two networks at this point in time that are on the gridiron can be sponsored by beer companies, why not Link to the Past Randomizer? Although that might send the wrong message.
I feel like some of these seeds have driven runners to consume certain beverages. By the way, we got a temporary Crystal Tide too, as Scary Olive finishes off Easter.
Yep, as Gamachu makes his way into the Tower of Hera, now with a hook shot can make things easier with the Hera pot. I do like the comment, Johnny Walker, at least until you find boots. That's creative.
Scary Olive's gonna stay off the mountain for now, so this is our first kind of real divergence.
Scary Olive is going to want those that hook shot at some point in time, but if that's all that Gamachu finds up here, more power to him. However, did we already find both items now?
We saw one, I don't know about the other.
Being told that we are missing one, so it's either here on Moldorm or it's in the big chest. Because why not?
Well, let's find out.
3 hips to Moldorm. Is this the map? No, it is not. It's the bombs, and therefore, this is the good speedrunner-friendly Tower of Hera.
When it comes to drinks in this game, I think we've already established which company makes them, and they have 3 varieties in the game.
Is their mascot a gigantic walking pitcher that goes, oh yeah?
Well, that's the other option, actually. I was thinking of, actually, not even really a mascot. I'm just thinking about the ones that might be found in a mountain range, like, where you're based off.
Oh, okay, I know which one you're talking about.
So the pitcher with the pitcher guy was probably also another good one. Yeah, fruit punch, green apple, or blue raspberry.
All right, Gamachu is heading. Where are you heading? Are you checking bombos? Is that your game plan here, Gamachu?
Looks like maybe Pyramid Fairy.
Oh, Pyramid Fairy, that's right, because we now have the 5-6. Remember, I was talking about how it would be interesting if there was something on there? Nothing but vanilla on the cape ledge, or bumper ledge, if you call it, as you will.
Yeah, I was trying to think of other foods you can get in this game. I guess some fried catfish is a possibility. If you like catfish. I feel like I have been partially broken by this seed.
I mean, that's standard here for the league. Fire Rod! Here on Pyramid Fairy. Now, the question now turns into what Scary Olive found in that Skull Woods. I don't think we found anything, really. Did we even find an item there?
I don't think so. Yeah, Gamachu is pulling further and further ahead at this point.
Yeah, this divergent is definitely now paying off in Gamachu's direction. The decision to head up to the Tower of Hera, snuffing something out on the right side of the mountain, which turned out to be the hook shot to make things in Hera a lot easier. And then, of course, snuffing out the Pyramid Fairy with a 5-6 combination to get that Fire Rod. So now Gamachu's going to be able to do the combination of Skull Woods and Thieves Town all in one straight shot.
Alright, Gamachu trying to punch Catfish.
And we get the magic cape, which does not do anything for us here because we already saw that it was a piece of heart on the ledge. That was unfortunate for Scary Olive with that bomb toss. And it looks like Gamachu is setting up his ancillary just in case there was something that... Oh, no, that's right. Oh, Titansmith's in the brewery.
That leaves me a bit good for Scary Olive.
That's one thing that could flip things around is what do we have on DDM? As Gamachu showing us what was on the ledge. We saw this earlier. Scary Olive now heading over to Thieves Town. 4 items inside. Are we going to get any in the first 4? We get ourselves a shield.
Shield, a map.
And so, therefore, we do know that one of these is going to be the big key coming up here in the next 2 checks for Scary Olive. Although, Scary Olive may want to be careful if they do design on staying inside of this dungeon. Oh, by the way, back 3 of Escape. We know there's going to be a small key in one of these 3 checks.
Yep, we have seen the map, so there are definitely 2 items back here.
Nice piece of heart to refill Scary Olive's health. We get ourselves nothing here in the back.
And as a crystal, Scary Olive will clear this right now. Got either Burnout or Hammer to take out blinds.
Really scary when you go through this dungeon without the terms to defeat blind, but that did come into play for one of our races that happened yesterday. The item to beat blind was in this dungeon.
Wait for a couple weeks when the back of Thieves Town potentially becomes optional.
That's going to be coming up in week number 7, the co-op Randomizer, but at least there you have a teammate to let you know, hey, you know that Thieves Town that you wound up only doing the first 4, then heading to the boss to kill? Well, you might want to get back here. It's got the Fire Rod.
Yeah, that'll be last week of the regular season. Next week, though, is Pseudo Boots Cross Keys.
Yep, we give the runners a pair of boots to start things off, but it's not the real boots, so therefore anytime they bonk, it's not quite the right distance, so bear that in mind when you try to go into Misery Mire thinking, hey, I could actually do this dungeon. Bonk. Ah! Nope, you can't.
Nice voice acting there.
Thank you. I've heard enough of that over my days.
I've also heard enough of that hand drop.
Yeah, too, which we'll be hearing a lot of during Randomizer week. Actually, wait a moment. Will we?
We will hear it more often than that, because if a room already has the hand, it won't get rid of it, and it will add the hand to some other rooms.
But yep, there is the pseudo boots coming up next week. Krusky is going to be a whole lot of fun.
Yep, entrances will be shuffled again, so good luck trying to watch the madness.
Yeah, but at least this time it's not 4 runners doing it at the same time. It's only 2. I mean, we don't have the scenario in week 4 with the 4 runners trying to go and search out all the entrances. So it's going to be a little easier to track. As we get the big chest. Oh, Ether! Right inside of here in the Thieves' Town. 2Pearl2Furious will be facing off against Rando Toddlers coming up here in week number 6.
Yeah, that could be that could be a series that will decide. The series could decide relegation, because if, depending on this result here, 2Pearl2Furious could end up playing their way out, or put themselves in good position to stay in the Invitational for next season.
Rando Toddlers currently 3-7. The team with John Snoo, Vex Topher, and Mr. Aaron Snurd.
Also the team that probably traumatized me the most during the league reveal.
I know, and I had to re-traumatize myself by looking at the division page right now on ALTTPRleague.com. Anyways, Bottles on Empty is who will be facing off against the Divine Beastie Boys. That could be a setup here to find out who's the number 1 team in this division. Bottles on Empty currently sitting at 8-2 on the season.
Not an Agaped seed, at least.
And that has been one of the teams I think has been the bigger surprise of this season. Maniacal, Maximum, Barnage, and Gembro currently sitting at 8-2 so far this season.
Yeah, they've come up from the Open League from last season. Though honestly, I think they definitely have the skill. I mean, I could say that about most teams in this league. They have the skill to be 8-2 right now.
They went 12-2 last season in the Open League in the Desert Palace. Their 2 losses were Maniacal losing to Flip Heel, and then Maniacal and Maximum Barnage losing to Infinity and Pagog in the Retrans week. Tough match against Ralkin and Will WC.
At this point, what do we still need? We still need to see the Flippers. We still need to see the Ice Round. We still need to see some Maria. Anything else we still need to find?
That's about it as far as the items that would guaranteed be needed. So we'll see what winds up happening as we make our way through this seed. Of course, it would be really nice to get boots, but we haven't seen those yet, and Gambachu's going to find out just how valueless those boots are in regards to the Lumberjack right now. It's going to be a tough ending here for 2Pearl2Furious, because after they get out next week, which could be a relegation preview, they get Bottles on Empty in week number 7, so that's going to be a tough one for them to have to deal with.
Well, Smith Chain does not give anything to Scary Olive. And then the Duck dodges. You gotta be careful, Duck. We've been talking about food. We don't want to bring you into that conversation.
Goose, Duck. All right, let's move on.
Now I'm thinking about Thanksgiving.
Chicken coop.
Alright, we got Scarab going with the mountain. Now, he's got mitts, so once he fixes that hook shot, he'll be able to do both sides of the mountain right now.
And the interesting thing here is I'm trying to think what exactly could be the biggest thing of an oh no if it turns out to be on DDM in regards to Gamachu. Because Ice Rod, you're going to come up here before you do Turtle Rock. That's pretty much a guarantee. You're probably going to start making a gamble that the Ice Rod's going to be here. Canis and Maria's annoying, but I'm almost thinking the bigger thing is if the boots or the flippers turned out to be over there on DDM.
Yep, that could be something. Scary Oliver, I have to watch what he does after this because the big key's in the basement.
Yep, indeed. And obviously, Scary Olive already being in here is going to be giving some time over to Gamachu, and not going to be towel room time because at least Scary Olive is just going to go ahead and leave.
So, Gamachu, I don't know if you've checked all of Village yet. I don't think he checked the South Hut.
He hasn't yet.
But once he gets those mitts, he'll be at 5 crystals with mitts. He'll just need to be able to beat Swamp and TR.
2 dungeons that he cannot beat at this point in time, so the question does then really become, where are the items that we need to beat this seed? Scary Olive is going to be giving us a quick early look at DDM and find out what our medallion requirement is. Not that it really matters because we already have knowledge of where all 3 of our medallions are going to be. It does turn out to be Ether's, the one that Gamachu does not have at this point, but Gamachu will get it at some point in this session because he will be getting that in the Thieves' Town Big Chest. All right, what do we have here in Super Bunny Cave, JP?
Well, looks like... Okay, some safety.
Health and a peace of mind. I don't think that really gave Scary Olive much of a peace of mind, however, but Hookshot Cave still looms. We don't have the access to get that just yet, as Scary Olive sets up the portal. Gonna dive on down to Spiral Cave.
Scary Olive just do... Super Bunny for now, didn't do, Hookshot Cave?
Well, Scary Olive doesn't have the means to do Hookshot Cave at this point.
Oh, good point.
However...
I'm getting ahead of myself.
However, we'll have the access to do so once he wraps up with Paradox Cave here in just a few.
Yeah, 3 items. We're looking for Ice Rod, Samaria, Flippers. And yeah, you can't enter either of the other crystal dungeons at this point. You can't even enter them. Which is kind of a good thing, because it'll keep you out of those it'll potentially keep you out of one of those dungeons so you hit go mode.
And Gamachu getting the small key right there. So now we'll be able to get this big chest. And soon picks up the hook shot over here, and here's the ether for Gamachu.
For Gamma, he could choose to do Smith Chain.
And that's pretty much what Gamachu will be doing once he gets to the Tidesmith. Because of the fact that it's right there in the brewery, it makes sense to do the breadsmith while you're there. If Gamachu chooses not to do the breadsmiths, it's kind of a play where you feel like you're behind, but I don't see the reason why Gamachu would believe that he's behind at this point. Answering chat, Fire Rod was over at the Pyramid Ferry, which Scary Owl does not have access to just yet. Will once he completes the Tower of Hera. Hey, there's the fourth sword.
There's a second shield.
And life refill. And a ice rod.
Okay, so...
Okay, so... I've got questions, JP, but I really don't have any good answers for those questions. Oh, have we not yet checked the Bombos tablet?
We have not. We also have the Mire area. It's probably your next best check at this point.
Oh, right, yes, the Mire Shed area.
Yeah, we're not down dependent dungeons just yet. Yeah, you got Mire Shed, you got Checkerboard.
You are right.
Yeah, the big thing to see right now is Scary Owl needs to get the pyramid to get that fire rod. He'll get the second red crystal here. At this point, it might take a rough item spot to get Scary Owl back into this one, though. I'm not sure what that could be. Like, I think flippers on Bombos would probably be one of the worst possible situations right now. Because I don't think either runner would want to go to Bombos tablet until they're going to Swamp.
Scary Owl facing off against the Moldorm. Unfortunately, a couple of missed swings. Now finally picks it up. Gamachu looks like setting up just to not do the Bombos tablet. There's the final hit for Scary Olive. We'll get the 3 bombs and head on out of here.
That's the 4th crystal. Why did you... Oh, no, he's going to check Bombos, because...
Oh, right, this is a good maneuver. This is a good maneuver from Gamachu, not to leave that Bombos tablet behind. That will give us a big answer here. Scary Olive leaving the Tower of Hera. And Spike Cave to get the blue mail coming up. So if you are rooting on 2Pearl2Furious, you are hoping that the Bombos tablet has absolutely nothing, because you know how orphan squares are, JP. They are hard to get back to, especially something like Bombos.
Yeah, like I said, if this is flippers, that's really bad for Scary Olive. Because there's no good time to come back here.
I think even if it is the red cane. But it's red. The heart container, however. Scary Olive forgetting that once you go and defeat Agahnim, you start right back on the pyramid, so probably had to take a few steps and be like, oh, yeah, right. Mire Shed area coming up here for Gamachu.
Looks like Scary Olive's going right for Pyramid Fairy.
And this is exactly what 2Pearl2Furious needs. Now, Gamachu does have a little bit of a lead here. The question is, does Gamachu pull the trigger on the belief that Ice Rod is going to be at or near Turtle Rock? Hey, bunch of 10s.
I was gonna say, Gamachu didn't give us a look at the Mire medallion, but doesn't really matter because we've got all 3.
For those of you who are just tuning in, about a half an hour ago, these two runners had a sandwich. I kid you not. Watch the video on demand.
Yeah, we at first thought Gamachu broke, and then there's Samaria.
Okay, so there we go.
Now, does Gamachu go up?
He is saving quitting. This tells us everything we need to know about this play. He's going up the mountain.
Yeah, and if he checks hookshot key before going into TR, he'll have a nice run. So at this point, we are just looking for those flippers.
And potentially the boots if it's that 1 in 22 circumstance, but we won't go there just yet. That would make things absolutely bonkers for this seed. So as we pointed out before, this is the last race of Week 5 in the Invitational League. The next races that you will be seeing for the invitation will be tomorrow when Week 6 begins. As we pointed out before, that's pseudo boots. Well, how does that change your strategy for how you play out these seeds, JP?
Well, personally, I've just decided to sit the week out. But for people who are actually going to play it, you can be a little more thorough on the overworld when you're checking entrances and stuff, because with the Groski setup.
So therefore, for those of you wondering about WJPDDTB, it's going to be Willard and DT going for that team. Good luck to them.
They're both playing Wednesday. It'll actually be an interesting race in our division because there's a three-way tie for third right now, and we're two of the three teams tied there, so definitely playing for playoff spots right now.
There are going to be a lot of phenomenal matches coming up here for week number 6 of the league. And it's just absolutely crazy how tight some of these divisions are.
Yeah, like as I said earlier, like every other division beyond this one, the worst team is at 3 wins. And that's still good enough to be in the playoff conversation.
Yep, we got Shaq Tools digging game in the Spec Rock Bonkers over in the Kakariko division. In the Lost Woods division, you got the Bomb Squad. Over in School Woods, you have He Came From and Missing Playoffs, which that's your division right there.
Yep.
And even here, the Misery Mire division, you got the Rando Toddler sitting at 3 wins.
Yeah, right now at 3 wins, you could go one of 2 ways. You could win out and get to 7-7, and that might be good enough for playoffs. Or you could go the other way and face relegation.
Relegation, a real concern for the teams with 3 wins at this point in time, at least for 3 of the divisions. The only one being this division right here, where as at this point in time, there's a team with 1 win and a team with 2 wins behind them. Get a small key. There's our flippers for go mode at 1 hour 12:57. Gamachu's in 21-20 seconds. Possibly go mode. And while we're talking about various other things, JP, how about the Open League? Of course, they still have a few more races to go in week number 5 of the league for this. A few of them being played out here during the course of today and tonight. However, how about some of these weird divisions? How about the Eastern Palace division? 4 teams tied with a 6-4 record for first.
That's a pretty crazy division. Yeah, I mean, you've got, I think technically, well, I was going to say technically all the teams are alive, but I think the 3 and 7 would be in a pretty rough spot to get to playoffs at this point, just because you've got 6 and 4 teams, and I think a couple of those are going to get to 8 wins, so. But yeah, that's crazy. Like, who knows which way that can go. You cannot afford to get swept. You might not even be able to afford 2 losses, period. Oh, Scary Olive.
Every win in that division is going to be absolutely essential for all 7 teams. Scary Olive dealing with a very scary Mothula fight. Can we get the last hit? And
oh my! Oh,
we have a fairy as a backup, but this still is scary. Coming up here, you don't want to lose that fairy. We do lose the fairy.
Yeah, someone should also bring up the rough spot in that league, in that division, is that there are wildcard spots, but you need a really good record to get those. And
Scary Olive takes the death, and this time there is no fairy. Oh no, there is another. There is another fairy. All right, we've used up 2 fairies on this fight. We get it. That's got to feel real rough when you had 1 hit left to go, and you wind up using both of your fairies. Anyways, Eastern Palace Division in that Farm Friends 6 and 4. It's Mitt 6 and 4. Taunt the Frog 6 and 4. You got Poutine My Cheesesteak 6 and 4. That is a crazy, crazy division.
Why do we have to bring up another sandwich and cheesesteak?
Missed opportunities.
I mean, these runners could have made a cheesesteak, I suppose.
I mean, a cheesesteak really is a sandwich after all. Taking a look at the Desert Palace division, you have Crystal Roller Crew currently sitting at 8 and 2, and Kabuki Hundo Activist Department, otherwise known as Chad, 7 and 3.
Yeah, those 2 teams in the best spot, but you still have Acai and Team Fun that could play spoiler and get into the playoffs.
You've got Amish Paradise and NDA currently looking interesting here. In the Tower of Hera division, Amish Paradise currently sitting at 8 and 1, so they've got 1 more match to go. NDA 6-3 and 1. That's right, there was a tie.
There have been a couple ties in the Open League. And actually, interestingly enough, if Amish Paradise wins their game today, I believe they are in the playoffs.
Scary Owl is about to get the Cane of Samaria coming up in just a few. It is inside of checkered board. We got ourselves a nice safety in the bug catching net, so Aga 2 will be a little more comfortable for Gamma 2. But all this information that we're giving you about the league, you can go ahead and find that out. Just go to ALTTPRleague.com. What other divisions are you looking forward to watching besides your own, JP?
Let's look. I mean, looking through these divisions, I think you gotta look at the Lost Woods division, just because the difference essentially between 2nd and 7th at this point is 2 wins. You've got Eastern Skippers, who are 2nd at 6 and 4, and then tied for 6th is TM32, Godrout, and Validation Chest Boots at 4 and 6. So there's just a 2-game separation. You've got, I mean, looking at this, technically all 8 teams in that division are still alive for the playoffs.
And the only team that is not in position to be relegated at this point is Triple Clown Fiesta. Eastern Skippers next week is the Turtle Rockers and the Bomb Squad, and there goes one of Gabachu's fairies. If there's a team I'm afraid of when it comes to Week 6 and Cross Keys, it is the Eastern Skippers, especially if Zelga's playing, which I do believe it's him and Dr. Marty O going for that team in Week 6.
Yep, Dr. Marty is playing. That game's already scheduled. I don't see their other game scheduled yet, though.
I believe it was going to be Zelga and FaZe as the other matchup, if I remember correctly. However, yeah, that's a really difficult matchup coming up here. But there's also going to be really some fun matches coming up in Week 6. And, you know, the whole Cross Keys variance here means that anything can happen as Gambachu makes his way over here to the Swamp Palace.
Now, we have talked a little bit about relegation, and I actually just saw this. So in the Skull Woods division, at 3 and 7, we've got He Came From Missing playoffs. Those two teams play next week. So that could be a match for relegation.
Yeah, if there's a sweep, that makes it a heavy favorite. If not, then week 7 becomes interesting. All we're saying to you is when you see the matches pop up on the schedule, be sure to watch. It's going to be a lot of fun here over the course of these next 2 weeks.
They got Gamachu going into Swamp Palace. This is going to be a go mode swamp. I think the only thing at this point you might want to still pick up is the boots.
Yeah, it really is the only thing that you want at this point in time. Yes, you might want magic powder as a safety, but with all 4 bottles, not as much of a safety as you'd think.
If your bottles are a bit empty, you could go and fill them up before going up to the mountain, which, honestly, this week I think is a relatively good idea. Because between Ganon and Naga, you could easily take some deaths.
And if your bottles are on empty, then you are fearing the Divine Beastie Boys, but you're sure glad that you already have your playoff spot clinched. Those two teams meeting up with each other next week, week 6.
Yeah, looking at some other matchups for next week that are going to be good. Okay, Dudes and Be Gone Pot are the top 2 in the Skull Woods division. They'll be facing off.
Alright, that's red, but it's not the red we're looking for. We have people talking golf in chat, JP.
Let's get the sandwich talk going again. I think that might be more interesting.
We'll be talking sandwiches coming up here in about 12 minutes or so.
Why 12 minutes? I'm trying to put that one together.
Because that's when we're going to go ahead and have the runners come in here for the post-race interview where we actually talk about the sandwiches that they made.
Yeah. I actually might go make myself a sandwich after this. I've got some tomato soup I need to finish off, and grilled cheese and tomato soup.
I've been noticing a lot of people doing this quick swap strat where we're going to the silver arrows for this Argus fight, and that actually looks like a really fun strat as opposed to having to fight with the hammer.
I do like it. I do like the not having to do so much menuing. You just have to do... You kind of do have to practice it a little bit because you do not want to over quick swap.
Yeah, especially if you go one too far over and wind up on the, well, you know what.
Yep.
The worst sound ever when you're in the middle of a boss fight. Anyways, that is crystal number 7 for Gamachu and the Divine Beastie Boys, looking pretty solid to go to 10-0 here in the league. However, there's one guessing game we have still yet to play, JP.
Get your guesses in, get your points in. Where's the key gonna be? Are you gonna bet on the 1 in 22 to make the seed longer?
What do you think the big key is, JP?
You know, I want to see if this seed will break these runners again. Let's just seed on the torch and see if Gamachu goes for another sandwich.
Oh, God.
Scary Olive still finishing up TR. Basically a dungeon and a half behind at this point. Scary Olive's only hope at this point might be a torch big key, and Scary Olive somehow comes across the boots outside of GT.
That really is what this comes down to at this point in time. Gambit Chew winds up getting dead rocked. And that would be absolutely the worst case scenario if the boots were needed for that big key, because guess what? We have an Ice Palace that we haven't touched. We have a Misery Mire we haven't touched.
Yeah, two ugly pendant dungeons.
Both with 3 items associated with them. Ice Palace with 3 items inside, Misery Mire with 2, plus the green pendant.
This point prediction is pretty even. Looks like nobody's putting all their points in one. Got a very nice distribution. So it looks like the majority of points, or not the majority, but the most points went to Bob's chest.
Yep. Let's see who winds up claiming the points here.
If it's Fire Snake chest, the person who bet 10 points is going to clean up.
All right. So we're going to first check the Hope Room. JP, what are the 2 we have inside?
Let's see, we got the big key.
Oh, it's True Hope too.
Okay, that was anticlimactic.
And at that time, Gabachu now just needs to climb this tower, take care of Vaga 2, and take care of Ganon. And he will be helping the Divine Beastie boys set up a case where it's more than likely a single win over Bottles on Empty in week number 6 means that they'll claim the number 1 seed in this division.
You'll have to see the overall seed for the conference. You gotta remember that the records also do come into play for the conference finals and the league finals. At this point, well, actually, Divine Beastie Boys could clinch the number 1 seed in the division, but not necessarily the conference. It's gonna take we're not gonna probably know that one until week 7.
JP, by the way, the winners of that point prediction got paid out 84-1 odds.
Yeah, that was the second least guessed one.
Gamma having a little issue with the Staffos room of the gauntlet. Scary Olive had a really scary Trinex. Final Fire Rod shot allows him to take care of it, but that could have been really scary should have Scary Olive not been able to get that final hit done. The Ice Head.
That's the 6th crystal for Scary Olive. Still needs to go to Swamp and clear that. This has got to be a bit of a rough gauntlet. You don't have boots, you don't have a sword. You just feel like this is wrong.
Just wait until next week with the Pseudo Boots cross keys, where sometimes they'll be climbing up this without even the Cane of Samari to make these rooms easier.
Yeah, I'm just waiting for the matchup next week where somebody decides to mimic Clip.
And that is a real possibility in the cross keys matches, so stay tuned. First race is coming up here tomorrow.
Specifically tomorrow at 1:10 Eastern. Last location here is in the Spec Rock Bunkers. We'll kick it off. The first team of 5 that are scheduled currently for tomorrow.
And that is a double header there between Structural Mike and Nilson Alex taking the first race, and then the second race between the two teams featuring Zen Arcane and Tel Miran. Gamachu getting pushed down by Moldorm 2. And again.
I think Moldorm's mad that Gamachu didn't share.
Moldorm 2 smells that meat on Gamachu's breath. Again, we're going to have to ask what sandwich that turned out to be.
Yeah, we shouldn't assume. It could have been a vegetarian sandwich.
I mean, you could be right. For all we know, it could have been a peanut butter and jelly sandwich.
Yeah, that's very true.
Professor Renderer, the only fluff that was on this is on Gamachu's sandwich.
It might have been. Could have been a.
It could have been a fluff sandwich.
Yeah.
Although Gamachu, I think he still has one more fairy in his pocket, but might want to be a little careful here. It does have the red potion. There we go. We fill it up.
There's been no running in the seat. It's been all walking.
Don't worry. The boots were probably in the validation chest there, just because we had the validation chest boots in this league this season.
Well, actually, one thing I've been making, if you want to call it the dessert sandwiches, I've been making spreading some Nutella on graham crackers and putting marshmallows in between them.
That's interesting.
Hey, here's a gator fight, though.
And we're making everybody hungry as it's time for Gamachu to create some bacon.
Yeah, we make bacon here, though. You know, we don't actually roast Ganon at any point. We just pierce him with some arrows. I mean, maybe the arrows have seasoning on them to, like, inject flavor into Ganon.
Gamachu taking a death. Still has another fairy. I mean, arrows are called vampire skews for a reason.
One more hit and to get into phase 4.
There's one. Nice waiting there for Gamachu. Knew he was in a bad spot, so didn't want to do the fire rod, but does send him up for a triple right there. And the Divine Beastie Boys are now 10-0 here in the league. Get your GGs in chat as Gamachu crosses the final finish line, sandwich and all. There we are.
1:34:15 official time.
With a goose honk at the end, as Scary Olive throws in the towel. Says, I've had enough. GG's to you. And now we get ready for the post-race interview. You know what the ultimate question is.
What was the sandwich?
What was the sandwich? And with that sound, we have the first of our sandwich eaters in here. And now we have the second of our sandwich eaters in here. Welcome in Gamachu, Scary Olive, to the conversation.
Hello. Hey, GG, Scary.
Scary Olive?
Probably has mic muted, doesn't realize it.
Windows settings, maybe?
Yep, that's always fun. Oh, there you go.
Let's try this again. Scary Olive?
You gotta love Windows Update.
No, I don't.
Okay, Windows
There
Update.
We go.
Removed my Discord settings, but yeah, GG Gamachu. I tried my best, but it's hard to beat this guy.
All right.
GG's, Olive.
So we obviously need to ask the question. First of all, we're going to start off with Gamachu because we never saw it on your screen. What was your sandwich?
I try to make it really quick. It was just, it was turkey, bologna, cheese, ketchup, mustard, and mayonnaise on it. And I figured, I want to add tomato and lettuce on it, but I don't want to invest too much time in the sandwich. So I figured that was good enough.
That's the beginner strat, man.
Chat is asking about your ketchup, mayonnaise, and mustard combination there, Gamachu.
Yeah, it's a nice, I guess you could say a man of unique taste. I enjoy it. It's okay. It's not bad. It was delicious. I enjoyed it, and I wish I had another sandwich by my side.
All right, Scary Olive, we got to see your sandwich in motion.
Yeah. I went all in with the setup. And I didn't want nobody to think, I cheated and just like get a pre-made sandwich. So, and I went all out. I went toasted bread. I went bacon in the microwave. It's not. I couldn't make it in the pan, but and it was a very enjoyable sandwich. I would even say my Agahnim was a bit of a problem because I had the wonderful sandwich right there. You have to focus on your Agahnim, but you also the sandwich there. So
yeah, it looked like there was a few spots where you actually were downing that sandwich while you were trying to play the game. We could definitely notice it after the sandwich incident.
Yeah. And I went with a bloody Caesar to go with it, because you can't have a dry mouth. So it was a very enjoyable sandwich and a good race. We prayed for early hammer because we had planned on hammer because I'm an hammer. It's a pun.
So the plan was basically when you grab the hammer to make the sandwich?
Yes. And the hammer was very far away in the seat.
Well, just for you guys to be happy, you did basically grab it around the same time, so you both were stopped for your sandwich breaks at about the same time.
Yeah, Gamachu was a little faster to it, and then, of course, Scary Olive, during that 3-minute interlude, wound up catching up. Speaking of ketchup. But the interesting thing here was the fact that Gamachu was paused. So we were sitting here going, did Gamachu forget that this hammer unlocks Aga access? Because we didn't see anything for And then all of a sudden it became obvious once Scary Olive got to the hammer and we saw the sandwich in motion.
That was good. I envy your sandwich. It sounds like you made yours better. I should have toasted my bread.
Yeah, if the bread is not toasted, I feel like it's hard to, especially when you're gaming, and it gets like all soft, and it's hard to get it with one hand. My only regret is I didn't cut it like in diagonal. That's even better for one hand eating. But no, I was trying to go fast myself.
A man of skills.
At least the C didn't give you boots, so you had to constantly push the buttons. The A button, the B button there. We never saw where the boots turned out to be. But, yeah, how about this for an interesting way to end Week 5 in the Invitational League? With sandwich making!
I mean, I saw Scary Olive do it one time when he was racing a rando seed, and I told him, hey, that was pretty cool. You did that, and we talked about like, yeah, we could do that. Just hopefully hammer is not too far. It's not like Mitch Darkworld X's, and you have to go on a hunt for that hammer somewhere really silly. So it wasn't too terrible. And I hadn't eaten anything all day, so all morning. So I kind of
there's your reward.
Yeah, I'm happy.
Yeah, I'm passing my knowledge of I'm on my way out of the scene. I'm washed up, but I'm passing my knowledge, my techniques to the newer players. Even though Gamachu is like old school like me, but I'm giving him tips. Even though I'm like in the Turtle Ninja, there's the rat. I'm like the rat. I'm giving him all my techniques. And he can go on and win even more tournament, and I live in that knowledge, in the sandwich.
I'll take it.
So we do have a race coming up here in 7 minutes at 4 o'clock here on SpeedGaming. It is the Metroid Dread qualifiers, but I know we do want to talk about this and what this means as far as you guys and the remaining 2 weeks of league. So I'll turn that over to JP so he can go ahead and ask a few questions about the seed and about the league.
Well, yeah, I think we saw the seed moving pretty well. Like at the start of it, like you guys were pretty even. You guys got to hammer as your last item. You got to Dark Worlds. I think it's just Gamachu's route just played off a little bit better. But yeah, like Gamachu, we'll start with you. 10-0. You're facing you're facing Bottles on Empty next week, and then which is basically second place. Probably potentially the biggest race in your division for this season. So how are you feeling about that?
I mean, I feel pretty good. I feel confident in my team. Hopefully, getting at the very least one win. But regardless of what the results are, I'm still happy just even making it this far. And there's at this point there's no pressure because I believe we already clinched playoffs. So whether win or lose, it doesn't really hurt us too much. But I'm looking forward to it. I'm sure it's going to be definitely a good match.
So I heard you've been on the bench for most of the season, though.
Yeah. I mean, they're fans of entrance, so I'll let them take the entrance modes. I'm okay with that. I'm okay with stepping back and just watching and potentially, criticizing a bit. Maybe I don't know. All in good fun, of course. But
okay, so
yeah, just you guys, go do your gaming. I'll sit back, relax, and pass judgment on your gameplay at the end of the seed.
And sandwich making.
And that, of course, yes.
I guess that makes sense if your modes are just better suited to non-entrants. Yeah, moving over to Scary Olive, down to 1-9, but you do play Rando Toddlers next week in a series that could at least save you from the relegation status. So how do you feel going into that?
I don't feel very good. I've tried to contact Oase. He's been missing in action for 2 weeks. I don't think he's ever done a pseudo boot in his life. And last time we made him play a mode that he didn't know, which was inverted, and he forfeited 12 minutes in. So, we're gonna try our best, but I don't have high hopes. But yeah, no, we're having fun. I'm having fun. I love cross keys, even though I'm terrible at it. So I'm gonna do my best and try to beat these toddlers.
That I don't know why that just didn't sound like it came out best. You mean defeat the toddlers? Not that doesn't help.
No. But you know the name of the team is the Rando Toddlers, right?
Yeah, I just it just sounds weird. That's all.
Okay, so that's the French translation in my head doesn't sound as good. I'm not advocating violence against children. I'm advocating winning random match against other teams.
Okay, that's a good way to put it. Yeah, we probably should wrap up because we do have this next match coming up. So, yeah, GG to both of you. Any final thoughts?
Well, GG Gamanchu, and thank you for restream. See you next week.
Yeah, echoing what Scary said, thank you. GG's Scary, that was definitely fun and delicious. And thank you for both, all three of you, Rick, JP, and Chrome as well for doing the tracking and putting up the restream. Very much appreciated.
It was our pleasure to be able to call the final week of the Invitational League, Week 5. So GG's to both of you, and of course, thank you for giving thanks to Crom, because we are going to definitely give big thanks to Crom for doing the tracking, clicking the buttons, and watching the sandwich art unfold just like JP and I did. All right, for more information on the league, you can go online, check out the standings, check out the team rosters, ALTTPRleague.com, and when you see more league here on Speed Gaming, you'll be seeing Week 6, the Pseudo Boots Cross Keys. JP, that's going to be a whole lot of fun.
Yeah, I will probably be commentating that, as I will not be playing it, but it will be fun to watch.
I'll probably be commentating it and cringing at certain races, but, that's the way things go. Anyways, special thanks to everyone who's been joining us here. Stay tuned. Coming up next, we have the Metroid Dread 80% qualifiers. That's next here on Speed Gaming. We'll see you next time.